Welcome to Beat My Beer Mile. Today I'm joined by none other than Alec Blenis. He is covered in accomplishments. If you go to his UltraSignup, you will see everything from 50Ks, 50 milers, 24-hour races going all the way back to 2013 when he was just 18 years old. Now, the one thing you won't find on there is the beer mile, because today is Alec's first and maybe his last beer mile, depending on how it goes today.
I've never even had a beer before.
This is NA Beer, Summit Nialis. Summit is sponsoring this upcoming project, so we're gonna give these a spin. You ready to get this thing going?
Let's do it, man.
Okay, on go. 3, 2, 1, go. So I want to dive a little bit into your backstory. In the intro, I talked about how from 18 years old, you were running ultra marathons, and I've heard you talk a little bit about this on other podcasts, but I want to dive deeper into like what got you into fitness originally, because as a guy that hasn't really drinking alcohol in his life, you'd think that a guy that's as fit as you, as like ambitious as you, he's running from something, or there's something he's trying to separate himself from a dark past. So, what was the impetus of you getting into fitness, and how did that evolve to today?
Yeah, so I think like a lot of kids growing up, I did a lot of sports and stuff like that. And luckily I never stopped. So that's just a big part of it. I think when people stop and have to find their way back to it, there's a lot of challenge involved there. And I think I was kind of fortunate actually, because rather than like a lot of people, like they compete in school or something and then school ends and then there's this like awkward transition of like trying to find that, like trying to stay athletic, try to stay healthy when life changes. For me, it was a little bit different because I was forced to take a break from school athletics. Long story beyond the scope of this, but I had to sit out a season when I transferred districts. And so I looked for stuff just to stay in shape. Started doing like road races and stuff like that, just like between high school track seasons, trying to stay fit. And I discovered that I thought that was even more fun. And I started discovering like longer and longer distances. Like I signed up for a 10K and then a 10 mile and found a trail race and just like kept looking for new and fun things to try. And as the distance went up, I liked it more. And when I was like out in nature, I liked it more. And then I stumbled across something called Spartan Race, which was an obstacle course race. So it was like a 5-mile run through the woods with obstacles, carrying sandbags, climbing over walls, rolling in the mud. And that was like life-changing, honestly. Just like something, it sounds cliche, but like the kind of primal nature of it, of like getting your hands dirty, getting out in the dirt and stuff like that while pushing yourself super hard. That was super cool, and I found I was really good at it, just from my running background and lifting background and like diverse sporting background. So it felt super cool, it was super fun, I was good at it. I got hooked, kept doing more obstacle races, and was good enough at them that they sponsored me. So then I started doing a lot of them. I did like over 100 of them across a few-year period. And that opened the door to like really pursuing fitness, not only just for fun, but also as a little bit of a career. That's how I started coaching, and I never really looked back. Life's been different ever since.
I guess what drives you? Maybe something that has driven you from the beginning to now, because it sounds like curiosity has driven you a lot, and just saying like, oh, this distance was fun, what more can I do? Yeah. Would you say curiosity, or what's deeper than that?
I hesitate to say it's like a drug because it has a negative connotation. Yeah. But I do think there's an element of like, every time you go bigger, further, faster, harder, like whatever it is, there's not only the high you experience and like the success of the event and being proud of yourself for like pushing yourself to new limits, but then there's this like kind of peace and solace and contentment and like grounded feeling afterwards. Yeah. I know some people experience what they call the post-race blues, and I think when you have a big event and you like finish a big marathon or ultra or something like that, it's easy to like get kind of depressed afterwards because you're almost like so calm and all that, like you've used up all your dopamine and everything. But I think like if you have a way to get through that, I think there is a piece that comes after of just like everything's gonna be okay. Like the things I thought were stressful are not stressful. It has this like slowing down effect. every time you do something like that, in my opinion. And sometimes when I find myself maybe getting a little more stressed out about the little things than I should, I'm like, it's time for another ultra or something, you know? It feels really good in that way. So that kind of keeps me coming back to some of the more extreme stuff. And it's just such a great way to stay connected to like nature, your environment, your city, people around you. Like depending on the race, it's different. But like I love doing ultras in like remote parts of the world where you feel very connected to nature. I like doing like the local marathon, the Twin Cities Marathon here, because like you feel more part of your city and your community, and like getting to actually run through it and like all the places you usually just drive, like experiencing it on foot and like running from my house over to running by this school where we're at here and then running to the Capitol. Like you see it all on foot and you feel very connected to the place that you live too. So I think depending on the race, there's like all these different connections you can make. Not that it's the only way to experience some of those connections, but it's really a great way.
When thinking about who you are today, all the things that you've experienced, what does Alec today, what information does he have today that maybe 18-year-old would have never expected, but would have massively appreciated knowing that knowledge that you have today?
I think sometimes you have to learn things to realize that they don't matter as much as you thought they were going to. And I was really hungry for knowledge at that age because I wanted to be better. And I thought like the more I know, the better I'm gonna do. And not that I would say don't pursue the knowledge, but I would encourage myself to have more fun with it along the way. Instead of getting like so hyper-focused on the details all the time, just like get out and run a beer mile. Like, you know, like you can get off your program for a day and do something fun like this, and it's not going to kill you. You're going to be better for it. So I think just doing more things like that, have more fun with the process. Don't take it all so seriously. Don't take a bad race so seriously. Because I think a lot of people, they get so focused on, you know, the 4 years that they're in school running or competing, or they get so focused in the next race that they forget, like, you want to be doing this the rest of your life, you know? And it's so easy to like let your relationship with exercise or with fitness turn a little bit sour and fall away from it. So I think just always being mindful of like, is this going to set me up to have a successful next year of training, not just like the next race, but like the next year, and keep that going. Because now I've been training consistently, like no major breaks, hardly any sort of off season, which there's pros and cons to that. But I haven't really taken a break since I got started, and I've been at it for 16 years. And I can honestly say I've really enjoyed the whole thing. And I'm always sad when I see people that like, they burn themselves out or they beat themselves up, and then they fall out of it and they have to get back in and try to reframe that relationship that they had with it. So just trying to be kind to yourself from the beginning so you can keep it up.
Yeah, I had someone comment on one of my posts the other day, is like, how do you keep yourself from being burned out? And like, honestly, me is like, you do beer miles. If it's running for me, it's like doing beer miles. It's going to the hill and doing hill repeats. It's putting a goal on the calendar, like a last person standing race. It's trying to mix in the variety that keeps you engaged. And I like what you said of like not taking things so seriously that you're not able to step outside of doing something that isn't on your routine. Yeah. When you look forward maybe to the next 10 years, what is Alec in 10 years hoping that he leaves behind that he has with him today? Maybe it's a perspective, maybe it's an action, maybe it's a lifestyle choice. What are you hoping to leave behind?
Oh, that's a tricky one, man. I feel like, I don't know if this will come across right, but I feel like if I knew what it was, I wouldn't have it.
That's a good answer.
And so hopefully I find what that is and can leave this year a little bit lighter.
Good.
But yeah, I think we're always searching for those things. But if I knew what it was, I would probably have already dealt with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, just keep it going, and just, I think having self-awareness and being willing to change and let go of things, so that when something pops up, you can see it. But yeah, I'll just keep my eyes open.
I like that.
I ask that because I feel like a lot of times, and maybe I'm projecting, is like we're always looking for that next thing that can get us to train more optimally or reach a new goal. And a lot of times it can be as simple as leaving something behind, you know, like you'll get better by doing less of one specific thing. If today's your last day and there's one message that you could leave to the audience, what would that be?
That is
hitting you with big questions.
That is a big question. In this context, I would just say fitness is such a powerful thing, and I think it's easy to view it as like a pursuit in vanity, or like something we do just to look a certain way or to feel a certain way. And all that may be true, and I think there's good things there's good things about that as well. Like there's nothing wrong with training to look good or feel good or perform good. There's nothing wrong with that. But what it can do just for your overall quality of life, the people around you, like being fit and able to care for people and be present for people, to be fit to be able to care and be present for yourself and get more out of life, be mentally sharper, physically sharper. There's just so many cool things that you can achieve through fitness. And I think everyone knows how important your health is for you. And when we say those things about health, it resonates with people and they get it, but they view fitness as like distinctly separate from health.
Yeah.
But I think for most people, they overlap a ton. At the extremes, like, yeah, they diverge a little bit. You can take fitness to a point that it's not healthy. But I think for most people watching this, like getting your fitness in order is one of the best things you can do for your health in so many ways. And so all those cliches we say about like health is wealth and that kind of stuff, like you can achieve so much of that through just like go out for a run, hit the gym. Like it doesn't have to be a ton, like do a little bit here and there, and just like your life is gonna be better. It's so much more than just trying to have a summer bod or whatever, you know? And I think sometimes people view it as that, but like there really is more to it. It's deeper than that, and I just want more people to experience it.
Well, I appreciate your time today. It's been a fun week. We lifted on Tuesday, was it, or Monday?
Tuesday, yeah.
And I've been going down a rabbit hole this last week of all the different podcasts you've been on. Really appreciate what you're doing for just the greater audience of people. You're a genuine guy. You're doing a lot of great stuff, and I just want to thank you for your time today.
Thank you, man. You too.
Appreciate it. All right, guys, we're out.